Hey, what's going on YouTube? Welcome back to another video. My name is Matt Morgan. I'm a fashion photographer here in Los Angeles, California. Today we're going to talk about two budget-friendly options from Leica, the Leica M10 and the Leica SL2-S. These are two complete systems, meaning they're not, fixed lens cameras. We're not going to talk about the Leica Q, just the complete systems where you can have interchangeable lenses, and they are also great as a combo or together. It's a great duo if you want both instead of upgrading to a higher-end camera. Maybe it's better for you to split them in two and have a couple older generations, but have two different systems. I am actually going to be selling these two and upgrading to the SL3, but these are still fantastic options. I love both of them for different reasons, of course. They've both been amazing cameras, primarily for my personal projects and anything that just goes daily carry, walking around, just something that I enjoy carrying and traveling with. My work cameras will be the Canon. I have a couple R6s and an R8. That's just kind of all for work. So these are mostly just my play cameras. And that's just a great way to look at my Leica cameras. I don't look at them for the value of autofocus and all the feature sets. These are totally just for fun. And they can be used for work, and I do use them for work sometimes. But as a whole, when you're working, it's good to bring your work truck, go out, get the job done as fast and as efficient as possible. And sometimes these aren't the best options for that. So if you are looking at Leica right now and you're kind of comparing cameras on the market, don't really lean toward this as being your main camera to do all your work. There are people that do it, but it's very far and few between. Don't think this is going to change your life and everything's going to be amazing because now you own a Leica. It can. Don't think that it can. It's just like anything in life. Sometimes things inspire people to go out and do more. But these are not the tools for shooting e-com and shooting weddings necessarily. You totally can. But if you're just getting into photography, I wouldn't jump into these cameras and go out and think you're going to be getting the best results that you possibly could, as far as you could have just got an R5 or a couple R6s and all the lenses. So don't go into that thinking these are going to replace your main cameras. They're not. But they are incredible cameras, and I love them and I love using them. And I don't have, I don't have to justify my purchase, basically, is what I'm saying. And you don't have to either. If you want a camera, just go get it. You love it, use it. If you don't like it, sell it. It's okay. But don't think that you can't just buy something because it doesn't have the best feature sets. They are still incredible tools and enjoyable to use. See, the SL2-S, of course, is autofocus, built like a tank, interchangeable lenses. You can use Sigma, Panasonic, Leica lenses, so there's tons of options now. The market is pretty much complete as far as lens selection at all price ranges. You can also use the M. So if you're ready for manual focus, you enjoy the rangefinder system, you're familiar with it, fantastic. If you're not familiar with it, like when I first purchased it, I've used the M11 and I've used the M10R and a couple other cameras. So I wasn't completely sold on it yet. I do love the experience and I do love it, but for what I am using it for, I just really need something fast, simple, and I don't really want to think about it. Just for like food photography or travel or just very casual shooting. So it didn't quite fit the bill for what I was looking for, but I do love the camera. And if I would, had the funds and wanted to get other cameras, I would definitely keep it, just because it is a beautiful camera to look at and it's so fun to use, but currently not necessary in my kit. But if you're looking for something that's just fun and challenges you, kind of just want to go out and enjoy the experience a little more. It's lightweight, considering if you pick up this camera, definitely much lighter and just more compact and just fun to use. It looks great. It's something that you can just feel good walking around with. There's nothing wrong with that. Just like wearing nice clothes, makes you feel good, you look good, you do good. So enjoy the experiences, enjoy the cameras. The SL2-S, same thing. It is a beast of a camera. But if you have a camera bag, it's not that big of a deal. You just pull the camera out when you want to shoot, put it back in the bag. It's not that big of a deal, especially when you attach the M lenses to it, which is really nice to do. I actually prefer it a lot. I don't really use the autofocus on the SL that much. I'm definitely more of an M lens shooter on this. I love it. But with the SL3, I'm kind of looking forward to the upgraded autofocus and giving that a try. I'm gonna go get the adapter really quick. And, it's a new toy, basically. I've had these since they came out. So of course I'm just ready for a new toy. My work cameras are fantastic, no issues there. Just looking for something new and exciting to get me out and shooting. So the Leica SL2-S with the M lens, much more compact, fun to use. The viewfinder is crystal clear, very fun to play with, especially if you just want to kind of slow down and enjoy the process a little more. I love it for landscapes, just to kind of nail focus and control what your eye sees and the depth that you're seeing. Maybe you want to have some foreground elements, background elements. This kind of just when you're manually focusing, you're kind of thinking differently versus just like an autofocus. You just see, okay, I'm going to shoot that and just point and shoot. This slows you down a little bit, makes you think, okay, is this the best shot for this scene? Is this what it needs to be? Should I do something more interesting? So I do like that experience with it. It's really fantastic. It's fun to use, but they are a little heavier. That's why you may want to, if you want to just use manual focus, you may want to just jump into an M10. They are priced comparably, I guess you would say, on the used market. There's definitely more options in LA than there is in other places, so I do have way more options for used cameras. But the M10s, you can find them around 4,000, sometimes under, sometimes a little over. SL2S is going for between 25 if they're kind of beat up to 35, and depending what model you have, it's a special edition or the condition. These are both almost perfect condition, so they should resell pretty nicely. And I have the box with them, so they're fantastic. But no issues with the cameras. I did have one problem with the SL2S. Had it serviced, it does take a while, unfortunately. With the M's, there are third-party options if you ever want to get them serviced that are much faster. So that's one thing to look into if you are on the used market. Servicing them, yeah, if your SL2S unfortunately does go down, you're looking at between 3 and 5 months. I think mine was close to 5 months. It was unfortunate, just kind of dealt with it. That's kind of why I went to the M10 as well and kind of switched up cameras. That's one issue that you will have in the used market. If anything does happen, you are going to be out of a camera for a while. With the M10, there is third-party options that are supposedly fantastic, and the turnaround time is maybe a month or less. I've seen it in a couple weeks, and of course, sometimes maybe 6 weeks. So there is one thing there if you're looking at used cameras, but as a whole, not many people have problems with the Leica cameras. I just got to be the lucky one that did have one have to go in, and had them both serviced, and those didn't take long at all, so that was fantastic. They're very responsive. You get email notifications, everything's kind of on track, and there's no guessing. They usually tell you pretty quick what's going on with the cameras. So if you're looking at that, just try to find a good condition camera, or one that's been recently serviced is what I would do. Just like mine have been recently serviced, and they come with a certificate. Let's see what else we have here for used market. Let's see. No issues. I don't think there's anything that is like hidden issues that I've experienced. Really nothing. Memory cards. You can't use Sony memory cards on the M10 for some reason, the tough cards. Only the SanDisk. I prefer SanDisk and Leica in general. The Sonys, for some reason, I love them in everything else, but don't try to use them in Leicas. Maybe just keep to the SanDisks. Battery life on both cameras, fantastic. This is USB-C, this is not, so that is one kind of nice feature to have, just a little more modern. Both the interfaces are different generations. This is going to be the previous generation, more like the SL1, but you're not really digging in the menus, and it's very smoothly laid out. Everything's just labeled right away. You can still create a favorites. Just buttons are just not customizable as there are on the SL2S. Once you have unmarked buttons that you can customize to pretty much anything you want. That's mostly it. I mean, do you want manual focus, autofocus, or maybe you want a little bit of both? But then you're going to sacrifice size, so then you're going to have to go down to the smaller camera. So there's just a million ways to look at it. That's why I really enjoyed having both. But as I use both and experience both, for the most part, I kind of lean a little more towards this because it can be used a little more professionally and a little more on different locations, and with the modern, USB-C charging, the modern app, and having the autofocus there if I need it is always nice to have. That's why I am considering, or not considering, I've already ordered my SL3 and it will be here soon. And I'm actually gonna pick up the Deluxe 8 for my new travel camera instead of the M. I really am just taking pictures of food and nonsense. Like, I don't really need an expensive camera to do that. I just need something in my pocket that's not my phone. I do like using my phone, but there is something nice about having a nice camera around your neck that just kind of does get better results. So I'm thinking that'll be my super compact travel setup. And then this will be my, I want to do some work, but also just don't mind carrying around a bigger camera sometimes setup. And those are my Leica options. If you're in the market, there's really no wrong. It's just, do you want manual or autofocus is the biggest question. And then second place, I think, would be the size difference. And then third would be usability. This does have a little faster app and the USB-C charging. The Leica Photos app is not as responsive with the M10, but it's not that big of a deal. Just pop the memory card out, throw it in your computer. Not a big deal. And that's pretty much it. Everything else I think on these cameras has been covered. So if you're really looking in the used market, they're definitely out there now, and very simple, non-technical review. There's plenty of videos on these cameras. If you're looking to them, I would say just jump in, try it out, because they're not going to go down anymore in value. So if you, whatever you buy them at now is probably going to be where they're going to stick to for another year or so until something else comes out, and then they'll probably drop a little more. But now's the time. So if you are looking at these two cameras, good luck. If you have any questions, just throw them down in the comments. I'll answer questions on these two cameras, whatever option is best for you. Yeah, that's it. So hope you enjoy your purchases. And if you're not looking at these cameras, just enjoy photography anyway. And I will see you guys in the next video.